Hello friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul live lecture. Dear friends, here we are for you. We know that you are enjoyed our previous session where we discussed on expressive arts. We told you how you can make your career in expressive art therapy. And friends, if you want to understand more, then we are here for you because Miss Meher is all curious to give you the content which is beneficial for you. If you have any question, do talk to us through our toll-free number. Our number is 1-800-110-430. Miss Meher is a psychologist, a career counselor, motivator, influencer, and I would say she is the right person to talk to on this particular topic. So let's welcome our guest, Miss Meher, once again. Hello, Miss Meher. Welcome to the session.
Thank you.
You gave us a deep insight about this therapy, that is expressive art therapy. Now, what are the benefits of this particular therapy, that is the expressive art specifically, if you talk about?
Right. So I think benefits are a lot. Let's start with the very basic of why it's also called expressive arts therapy. हम डांस को थेरेपी बना देते हैं, म्यूजिक को थेरेपी बना के, why are we saying that? अगर आप कभी डांस क्लास गए हो या कभी आपने कोई ड्रामा क्लास अटेंड किया या आपने कोई म्यूजिक क्लास अटेंड किया, whether you was learning an instrument or learning how to sing, एक डिसिप्लिन की ज़रूरत होती है फॉर श्योर, बट आपको एक रिलीफ का भी एहसास होता है फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु गो यू नो थोड़ा सा मूवमेंट करके आते हैं, वॉक करके आते हैं, जिम जाके आते हैं, तो उनको स्ट्रेस रिलीफ होता है. एंड ये इन सारे आर्ट फॉर्म्स की थेरेप्यूटिक क्वालिटी होती है, जिसे हम कहते हैं कि पेंटिंग करके अच्छा लग रहा है या ड्राइंग करके अच्छा लग रहा है. उसी थेरेप्यूटिक क्वालिटी को यूज़ करके हमने एक थेरेपी फॉर्मेट क्रिएट किया है. अब थेरेपी थोड़ा फॉर्मल टर्म हो जाता है बिकॉज हम एक इंटेंशन के साथ ये चीज़ें यूज़ कर रहे हैं. सो इमेजिन जो चीज़ आप ऐसे ही अपने दिन में यूज़ करते हो, कभी कभी एक डांस क्लास में चले गए या म्यूजिक सुन लिया, उससे आपको कितना अच्छा लगता है. जब आप इसको एक थेरेपी में कन्वर्ट करके एक इंटेंशन के साथ यूज़ करते हो या सर्टन प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ यूज़ करते हो, तो उसका कितना ज़्यादा बेनिफिट होगा. एंड दैट इज़ वॉट एसेंशियली एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स थेरेपी रियली इज़. हम यही बेनिफिट्स यूज़ करते हैं डिफरेंट एरियाज में. सो जैसे यू कैन सी ऑन द स्क्रीन, ऑब्वियसली बहुत हैवी वर्क करते हैं जो लोग क्लिनिकल सेटअप में होते हैं, हीलिंग एंड ट्रॉमा रिकवरी. A lot of people who've undergone trauma and are not very comfortable talking about it or sharing about it, using these expressive art therapy techniques, it can really help them express how they feel and also process it in a much better way. And that is what we're doing, is we're offering them an extra language to explain how they feel, which is not necessarily made up of words all the time. And that's where expressive arts therapy come in, right? Like using with movement. जिन लोगों को बहुत extreme trauma होता है, depending upon the trauma, वो अपनी body से ना disconnect कर जाते हैं. And जब आप अपनी body से disconnect कर जाते हो तो आपका mind कुछ और कर रहा होता है और आपकी body कुछ और कर रही होती है. To bring that connection back, that's where, let's say, movement therapy is used or art therapy is used, so that you feel in connection with yourself again. You can process these things a lot better. So that's one usage of expressive arts therapy. Then basic joy and fulfillment, just जैसे I said ना, basic idea of अच्छा लगता है artistic expression में करना, अपने आप को express करना एक तरीके से, to just be able to dance and not worry about what people are thinking, but expressing how you are feeling. So basic joy and fulfillment also is something you can connect with. Then there is building resilience. Resilience का मतलब होता है कि आपके साथ कुछ बुरा होता है, आपको बुरा लगता है, but you're able to find that motivation, that connection within you to push through, to stand up when you fall and not just stay where you are. So expressive arts therapy can be used very extensively to build this kind of resilience, to build coping skills so that you can navigate the issues of daily living. जो challenges हमारे रोज की जिंदगी में आते हैं, और हम सबके लाइफ में challenges आते हैं. Expressive arts is a great way of navigating that and building resilience. Then there is cultural and spiritual connection. I think एक connection जो हमसे बड़ा हो, हमारे आसपास के लोगों के साथ, हमारे community के साथ, and also going beyond that and building a spiritual or religious connection, whatever your faith is. That gives us so much support. It makes us feel so that we belong somewhere, that we're not alone. And doing these things with other people is fantastic, like for your mental health. So that's where expressive arts therapy is also used. Then there is physical rehabilitation. जिन लोगों को जिनके accidents हो जाते हैं and they experience movement loss in certain parts of their body or they just need physical rehab, उसमें of course वो rehab के लिए जाते हैं जहाँ उनको different exercise दी जाती है जिससे उनकी movement वापस आती है. If you lose a limb, learning how to acclimatize to that also is where physical rehab comes in, and using the therapeutic quality of movement, of dealing with that is also where expressive arts therapy is used. So creating different types of activities to help with mobility, with coordination, with memory. There are so many ways, so many techniques of expressive arts therapies that are used there in physical rehab also. Then there is emotional expression. I think the first thing that really just helps, like I said, we've been talking about itna, is आपके emotions express करने का एक non-verbal तरीका मिल जाता है आपको. So you don't have to worry about कि मेरे words misunderstood हैं या कोई समझ नहीं पाएगा कि मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ और कैसे बोल रहा हूँ. You express it in a more abstract way, and so people can connect with it better. Then obviously stress reduction. You can just engaging in these art forms can be stress reducing, and using it with a certain intention, एक certain problem के साथ deal करना, like I said, in a therapy format works much better. Confidence building बहुत अच्छी तरीके से होता है because you become more confident about how you are feeling and best way to express it also. So, and it also highlights your creative strengths, areas in which you're good at, and you can bring that to the forefront. बहुत ज़्यादा सेल्फ अवेयरनेस भी क्रिएट होती है बिकॉज आपको अपनी खुद के इमोशंस समझ आने शुरू हो जाते हैं, और जब आपको अपने इमोशंस बेटर समझ आते हैं दैट मीन्स आप किसी और को बेटर समझा सकते हो. अगर आप खुद ही कंफ्यूज हो, अगर आपको खुद ही नहीं पता किया हाउ यू आर फीलिंग, देन इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कम्युनिकेट दैट टू अनदर पर्सन, एंड दैट कैन कॉज अ लॉट ऑफ रिफ्ट्स इन योर इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स. So if your self-awareness and insight increases, then it's better for your relationships as well. Which comes to the last point, bringing us to the last point, which is enhanced communication. आपकी awareness से आपका communication better होता है. जब आपको अपने expression का language मिल जाती है, जब आपको पता चल जाता है कि this is the language that I can communicate in best, then you know how to communicate to other people, and that builds better, healthier relationships. So scope and benefits of expressive arts therapy is so much. If I can give an example, right, like there is a lot of work that is done with newborn babies and their mothers. जब डिलीवरी होती है, mothers generally, a lot of mothers feel disconnected from their own body because उनका एक traumatic experience होता है. एक baby को deliver करना आसान नहीं होता, and there's a lot of pain involved, and there is so much bodily change that happens. This is why a lot of mothers also experience what we call postpartum depression. उनको बहुत रोना आता है, बहुत hormonal changes होते हैं. Bringing in expressive arts therapy there, helping the mother reconnect with herself, reconnect with her own body, understanding कि वो changes के वजह से उनकी mind पे क्या effect आया है, and helping her process that can help so much for that new mother who has to now also take care of a new life. And then taking that one step further and building connection using movement and music between the child and the mother to create that bond with the mother-child bond and make it stronger. वहाँ पे expressive arts therapy आती है. We've been utilizing these things बहुत अरसे से कि न्यूबॉर्न मदर्स को बोला जाता है कि बच्चों को गाना गाया करो, उनको ऐसे झुलाया करो. क्यों? बिकॉज उनका कनेक्शन बढ़ता है. हम वही थेरेप्यूटिक क्वालिटी को एक्चुअल थेरेपी में यूज करके मेक इट बेटर फॉर बोथ द मदर एंड द चाइल्ड. सो लाइक आई सेड, देयर इज अ लॉट that you can do with expressive arts therapy.
Definitely, I think every individual should do this expressive art therapy. For that, it will help him or her out in dealing with the daily life problems. Because as I already said, everybody is in chaos. Everybody is leading an uncomfortable life somewhere or the another. Whatever our packages are, but still, कहीं ना कहीं दिल में ना एक छोटा सा कोना दर्द में, दुख में है. So that is required to be healed out, and that could also be done and can simply be done by adopting this therapy, by learning this therapy. At least we'll heal ourselves first, and then of course we can become the change makers and can change somebody else's life. Yes, we can have a wonderful career also, but yes, as you yourself said, how mother connects with his or her child with the help of therapy, it is possible. Now, coming back to the scopes, does one has this provision of becoming a consultant, giving services if he or she has done a particular course?
Okay, so for expressive arts therapy, I think बहुत सारे scope है. आप किसी organization के साथ as an expressive arts therapist काम कर सकते हो, adding to their services. Like lots of hospitals, like I said, want only expressive arts therapists to come in and take those sessions. You can work with mental health clinics to do that as well. You can get into private practice. So I have a private practice where I am a psychologist and I'm also trained in expressive arts therapy. So I offer that one-on-one to clients as well. You can work as a consultant and offer that as workshops to schools, to NGOs, to universities, to corporates. So you can do that, you can curate that, you can become a facilitator in that sense and do all of these workshops everywhere. हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक HR होता है जिसका काम यही होता है टू फिगर आउट कि हम एम्प्लॉइज के लिए नया क्या कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाट यू कैन केटर टू एज अ कंसल्टेंट. यू डोंट नेसेसरली हैव टू बी अटैच्ड टू अ पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन.
Yes, very true. In the corporate sector, we have seen lots of session going on, so that time मिल जाए थोड़ी देर के लिए खुद के लिए, because when you are in habit of meeting the deadlines, where are you, where are we, we are felt as if the organization is making maximum out of it and giving us nothing. So organizations are planning such therapy sessions जिससे कि सब enjoy करें. We have seen in many of the corporate offices where there is a fixed day, everybody in the office dance.
Yes.
For the simple reason it is a part of the therapy.
Yes, yes, and then they have these off-sites also जहाँ वो अपने employees को ले जाते हैं कहीं पे and they plan all of these activities. So expressive arts therapy can also be part of those activities. You can make it more intentional, right? कभी companies को skill building भी करनी होती है कि अगर किसी उनको डिसीजन मेकिंग सिखाना है या टीम प्लेइंग सिखानी है अपने एम्प्लॉइज को, तो वो आप एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स थेरेपी के थ्रू सिखा सकते हो. यू डोंट नेसेसरली हैव टू बी जस्ट अबाउट स्ट्रेस रिलीफ ऑल्सो. यू कैन टीच दीज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सॉफ्ट स्किल्स ऑफ लीडरशिप, ऑफ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग थ्रू एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स थेरेपी. सो यू नो देयर इज स्कोप, मतलब आप पे डिपेंड करता है. यू डिसाइड योर स्कोप, वेयर यू वांट टू डू एंड व्हाट यू वांट टू डू विद.
And the beautiful part is that the therapy involves the practical implication and the involvement of the masses जिनके लिए आप काम कर रहे हैं. बहुत से ऑफिसेज में हम देखते हैं कि ट्रेनिंग सेशंस होते हैं, बट nobody wants to listen because everybody knows or everybody says हमें तो ये पता है why they are teaching us. But when you involve the people, you automatically become a part of that sync. जिस मकसद के साथ, जिस objective के साथ you have planned that particular therapy, the person will show the transformation gradually. Now, because we have talked about this special education and we are deliberately working on getting those students or those children involved in the mainstream education. We are talking about the inclusive education. एक टाइम था, अभी भी है, जब हम बात करते हैं कि हमारे पास बहुत सारे स्पेशल स्कूल्स हैं जहां पर बच्चों को पढ़ाई करवाई जाती है. बट द क्वेश्चन इज ऑफ इक्वालिटी. वी नीड टू गिव इक्वल एजुकेशन इन द इक्वल फॉर्मेट टू एवरी चिल्ड्रन, टू एवरी किड. सो डू यू फील दिस थेरेपी विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प the students to get education in the mainstream schools and mainstream curriculum?
I think definitely, because like I said, expressive arts therapy is just another language that you're providing. And a lot of these children who are working, who need special education is because they cannot keep up with the regular academic pressure. वो जो basic mathematics, English, science जो उनको सिखाया जा रहा है, their brain is equipped differently. It cannot take it up in that manner. तो हम एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स थेरेपी यूज करके सेम सब्जेक्ट मैटर उनको टीच कर सकते हैं. जैसे अब हम म्यूजिक इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं टू यू नो लर्न अल्फाबेट्स. व्हाई डज ABCD हैव अ साउंड? हम उसको गाते क्यों हैं? बिकॉज इट्स ईजियर टू रिमेंबर. सो सेम चीज विद एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स थेरेपी, वी कैन हेल्प दीज चिल्ड्रन लर्न बेटर. वी कैन फिगर आउट what are their strengths. Do they learn better by drawing, by looking at things? Do they learn better by movement? अगर हम उनकी बॉडी में आप उनको exactly point out करके बताओ कि ये बोन है, ये आपका नोज है, ये आपका ईयर है, मे बी शायद उनके लिए वो ज्यादा यू नो ईजी है टू अंडरस्टैंड वर्सेस लुकिंग एट अ पिक्चर इन अ बुक एंड बी लाइक अच्छा ये नोज है. So if we can figure out their strengths and use these expressive arts therapies with them, there's a lot of scope there. You can, because the idea really is कि learning सबकी different होती है. I don't consider this as disability. It's just that हमारा brain differently wired है और हम सबको चीज़ें अलग-अलग तरीके से समझ आती है. हम अलग-अलग languages बात करते हैं. We just have to identify the correct language for the correct person and provide them that support.
And some way or the another, we need to break that monotony. एक धर्रे में हम काम करते चले जाते हैं. Every day we come to office. Every day we do the same work. But अगर किसी दिन कुछ अलग करने के लिए मिलता है, so it increases our excitement level also, as well as it increases or boosts our confidence also. Yes, we can do better. So I think this therapy helps you out at a great level कि चलो कुछ अलग करते हैं या चल let's discover ourselves. It is a matter of discovering, and it is a way of giving you a part to discover yourself also. Now, because we have discussed about this special education or the students with the special need, all those who have done their graduation, post graduation in special education जिसकी हम बात करते हैं, उसमें अगर वो special education के साथ साथ अगर therapy का भी course कर ले, so it would be an added advantage for those teachers.
Right. And I know a lot of organizations which cater to that. वो आपको expressive arts therapy with a specialization in special education कि आप उस area में कैसे utilize कर सकते हो, आप वैसे भी सीख सकते हो. So that option is available. You just have to figure out आपको क्या target population है, आपको किन के साथ काम करना है, and you can specify and customize your work accordingly.
Not only the teachers who are imparting special education, in fact, every teacher should do this. Because it will help them out in understanding how to deal with different kind of students in the same class.
Yeah, for sure.
And the teaching will become very easy as well as it will become very creative also. Learning will also become creative क्योंकि teachers के पास एक नया tool होगा पढ़ाने के लिए. Not only the blackboard and the chalk is required, but one can teach mathematics or physics or chemistry if he or she has done this particular course. So it would be.
I think I've seen that in COVID, right? Like when schools shifted online, you had to be creative. You had to be creative about your teaching because एक PPT format से बच्चे आप नहीं सुन रहे होते, नहीं सुनते. So bringing these games and bringing in different skills and using these different apps that are now available on the digital platform to help children understand, that's step one, right? You're being creative. You're using these creative techniques. इसी को जब हम therapy में convert कर देते हैं, again, for the intention of healing, for self-awareness, तब वो expressive arts therapy के अंदर आ जाता है. And if you have the knowledge, if you can understand, if you're like, you can teach so much and move away from the conventional blackboard and chalk and textbook material and really connect with the children.
Very true, very true. We need to teach, we need to change our techniques, and for that we need to change ourselves first.
Absolutely,
we need to work on ourselves first. Now this is the era of, digital media, I should say. Gone are the days when we totally rely on television and radio. Now we have this internet, we have the social media. And with the help of the social media, people are imparting a lot.
Yes.
So, is there scope for our therapists, that is the expressive art therapists, that they can generate content and they can circulate to the masses?
I think there's a lot of opportunity there, provided that you can be very careful of what you're putting out there. Because at the end of the day, this is therapy. You're dealing with people, you're dealing with very sensitive emotions and parts of people that people are not very comfortable sharing with everybody. तो आप जो कंटेंट बाहर डाल रहे हो, as long as you're mindful कि ये harmful ना हो किसी और के लिए, I think there's a lot of opportunity. Lots of guided visualizations are already available on YouTube. A lot of therapists share very basic somatic जो हम movement exercises बोलते हैं to reduce stress and connect with yourself or connect with another person. So that kind of content is already out there, and the market is huge for sure. You can definitely, as like I said, just be careful of what you're putting out there and what you're catering to. But lots of videos, lots of Instagram reels about expressive arts therapy कि आप ये वाली art exercise try कर सकते हो to if you're confused about your emotions, or if you want to, अगर आपको anger explore करना है as an emotion, तो आप ये वाली movement try करो and see how you feel. So बहुत ऐसी guided reels हैं which help you process smaller thing, your emotions at a very smaller level, और अपने आप कर सकते हो आप. So yes, lots of data that can be
but
created.
one need to take care of the content.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like I said, therapy है, psychology related है, which means you're working with the other person's mind and body. You cannot risk दैट. तो अगर आप श्योर नहीं हो, अगर आपके पास करेक्ट क्वालिफिकेशंस नहीं है, आई डोंट थिंक यू शुड बी पुटिंग दैट आउट देयर. बी ट्रेन्ड, बी कॉन्फिडेंट एंड yes, for sure.
Very true, because you are not aware who is watching your video and what is the case history of that particular person. आपने बता दिया, सामने वाले ने adopt कर लिया, but the person himself or herself is not aware उसके साथ problem क्या है. Life में हमारी सबसे बड़ी problem होती है कि हमें ये नहीं पता होता कि problem क्या है. So one needs to be very very careful, as Miss Meher said, while posting your videos, while posting your content, that it should be in such a way that it doesn't make any harmful impact on somebody's life, because we are the change makers, because we are adopting social media as our tool for imparting the education. Now, as we have less time left with us, now what do you want to say to the students who would be watching us right now, or all those people who might be into different professions, but after listening you, they might be thinking, "Arey, ye bhi to ek area hai. This is also the field where we can go," because some people are into a habit of dealing with lots of people, because it's a kind of public dealing also, and people love dealing with public, and they want to be in the communication field, as you are yourself. So what suggestions do you want to give to them?
I think for all those of you who are really interested in expressive arts और सुन के लगा कि क्या है, कैसे है, I would definitely suggest experiencing one session. Whether you're a student and you take a workshop, whether you're a corporate employee and your organization does this for you, or whether you work one-on-one with a therapist, with an expressive arts therapist for your own issues, एक बार experience करके देखो. And that will give you a lot more clarity in terms of how it works and whether this is something you want to pursue as a career yourself, or you want to continue doing only for yourself. Ki I want to experience expressive arts therapy sessions, or maybe eventually train and become a therapist myself. So allow yourself to at least have one exposure, any kind of exposure, whether it's a training exposure or whether it's a more experiential exposure. Just do that to understand, and you will have a lot more clarity of where you want to go with it.
We need to give a chance.
Yes, absolutely.
And then only we will understand what actually it is, and do we really fit into it or not, because that is also important. दिखती हमें बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, and जो हमें बहुत ज़्यादा attract करता है, we feel this is for us. Sometimes it is and sometimes it is not, but it is better to first understand what it is. Now, last but not the least, which I personally feel everyone should do. What do you think, at what level and how whether we want to be in any field, what should we do with ourselves? How do we need to prepare ourselves for the future tomorrow?
That's a difficult question because the future is uncertain and हमें नहीं पता कि कल क्या होने वाला है. But I think the best preparation is being patient and understanding of your own self. कि you will make mistakes, you will not have all the answers, and it is okay to ask for help. So अगर confused है, अगर हमें नहीं पता कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं, तो किसी ऐसे से या किसी एक्सपर्ट से बात करें जिन्हें पता है कि वो आपको करेक्टली गाइड कर सके. एंड इट्स ओके, नथिंग इज परमानेंट, नन ऑफ योर डिसीजंस विल हैव परमानेंट कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. ऑफ कोर्स इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी वेरी श्योर ऑफ द डिसीजंस दैट यू आर मेकिंग, बट इट्स ऑल्सो ओके टू एक्सप्लोर. टेक योर टाइम विथ थिंग्स. जैसे मैंने इसके लिए भी बोला, राइट, एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट थेरेपी के लिए जितना एक्सपोजर आप ले सकते हो चीज़ों के बारे में. अगर आप बहुत सारे करियर्स के बारे में कंफ्यूज हो, ट्राई डूइंग मल्टीपल इंटर्नशिप्स, एक एरिया में दूसरे एरिया में, understand कि actual work क्या है, and that would help you make better decisions in the future. So just be understanding and compassionate with your own self. You will figure it out.
And what about the failures? How should one take the failures? Positive or negative?
I think if you're not failing, then you're doing something wrong. अगर आप किसी चीज में फेल नहीं हो, अगर आप किसी चीज को आपने हर बार सही करते जा रहे हो, तो फिर आप कुछ गलत कर रहे हो, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. we are human beings, we are humans, so we make mistakes, and it is very important to make those mistakes. क्योंकि आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि आपको कुछ अच्छा लगता है कि नहीं लगता, कोई चीज़ आपके लिए है कि नहीं है. So the more mistakes you make, the more you learn, and I think it's very very important to fail in life every once in a while, so that you realize कि आप कहाँ जा रहे हो लाइफ में और आपको कहाँ जाना है.
Very true. Make new mistakes
Yes.
every time. Don't repeat the mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
And one important thing is that one should keep learning something or the another. And specifically during your rough phase, learn a skill. That will definitely help you out when you will make a leap in the future, and then you will realize that whatever you have learned in the past, specifically during your rough times, has made you, and it has tell the truth to everyone that what you are is all because of the failures. So, Ms. Meher, thank you so much for giving us this vivacious session where we had an in-depth knowledge about the field that is expressive art therapy, as well as we had heart-to-heart talk, how one can transform himself or herself by knowing what he or she is. So, once again, delightful thanks to you for your presence here, and we would like to have more and more sessions like these in the future.
Absolutely.
So, dear friends, thank you so much for giving us this session, because you give us this chance to talk to you. We are there for you. Anytime you want us, do talk to us, do write to us. You can talk to us through a toll-free number, as well as you can write to us. CEC-Gurukul.live@gmail.com is the ID where you can post your questions, and we are going to upload this lecture on YouTube for you. You can watch us the number of times you want it, and afterwards you feel so that yes, you have certain questions which are required to be answered. Yes, please feel free to write to us. So we are taking your leave with the promise that we will be meeting on another Thursday and would be discussing on another topic. Till then, take care. Goodbye.